everyone, and welcome to Sideshow Live! We have so much stuff happening in the studio, and we have a full house today. Like, everyone's finally back from break, or the flu, or both, or like whatever's happening. We have our full crew back, and it's super exciting. So if you guys don't know, we have John Wick, our famous atomic blonde, who is in the YouTube chat channels, also sort of in Periscope, kind of going back and forth. Then we have Chicky in Facebook, and Kitty also in Facebook, but she's also kind of shouting things out at me as we go along. Kitty also hosts the after party. If you don't know about that, I feel like I should do an Instagram after party shout out at the beginning of the show for once. There, after the show, anything that's behind me, Kitty takes the little iPad and does an up close and personal look at it. So if you see new things, like, I can't talk backwards, but yeah, but I was like, there's a character who says magic spells backwards who's making her first appearance on the shelf of the show. So anyway, yeah, so we're really, really excited. We have, yeah, there's also like this guy, you might know him. Some of you might, you know, have gotten the exclusive really quickly. I'm really impressed with you. I think you might all be metahumans and have speed powers. But Thanos on the Throne will be taking a closer look at him after the show. So we have Chicky, we have Kitty, we have John Wick, we have Brendan, who's finally decided to drop his Jimmy Olsen name. Spoiler! Jimmy Olsen has a real name, and it's Brendan. We have Challenger, we have Brett, we have Dennis, and we have Dave Igo. Yeah! And of course, Luna, who's our animal sidekick for the show. She's a super pup. Anyway, but you know, you're here for the people, but you're mostly here for the figures, right? So we're doing a feature on the Toothless and the Dragons of Berk art print that's right here. Then we are doing a feature on the Boba Fett life-size bust. Then we are doing a feature on the Magneto Maquette. Whew! That's a lot of brand new stuff to show you. So again, lots of questions. Be sure to be asking them because we don't have an unboxing today, so we don't have a Slash Live contest today, but we are giving away. Do you remember like a month ago when we did a James Bond featurette from Big? Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the right theme. Yeah? Okay, cool. Yes. Point. We're giving away the James Bond 6-scale figures from Big Chief Studio live in the chat channels. So you're going to be wanting to participate, interact. You are at the mercy of Chicky and John Wick, which that's really terrifying. Yeah. They have an odd job. But we will be doing a Q&A segment at the end of the show, which is when we will be giving away these figures. So be sure to participate. That's exciting. So let's get on with it. Peter Gruntner is our featured collector this week. Yay! What's he got? Star Wars.
Looks like 6-scale. Is that a Legend Games? No,
so much. I like the Challenger is like Star Wars. Better get in on this. And like just rolls his chair right over. But thank you so much, Peter, for sharing your collection with us. As always, you have a stellar collection. And if you would like to be our next featured collector, be sure to go to sideshow.com/blog and hit the apply now button. We love all kinds of collections. So just send them our way. And you could be featured not only on the live stream, but in our blog. So that's pretty exciting. News. We got some news. This morning we had a synopsis of Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet go up.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Ralph broke the internet. But I'm like, I don't want to read anything about it.
Oh.
I know, because I loved the first one so much. Thanks to, actually, Igo, you're the one who showed me Wreck-It Ralph.
Dude, I can't believe it took you that long.
I know.
And Speed Racer.
I know. Well, no, yeah, that's right. And Speed Racer. You also gave me. No. I only watched Wreck-It Ralph, and I kept watching your Blu-ray of Wreck-It Ralph, and I finally had to be like, okay, I need to give this back before something happens to it. So Wreck-It Ralph broke the internet. We also got a synopsis from Empire Online of the Solo movie, so that was pretty exciting.
And Marvel Studios gave the synopsis for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And a picture. The Ant-Man and the Wasp picture is kind of like what I've just been drooling over for the past 24 hours. They look so cool. I can't wait for July. But of course, like, we have to get there, Marvel, because I have to get excited about one thing at a time. So Black Panther, and then after Black Panther, I can get excited about Infinity Wars. Then after Infinity Wars, I can get excited. Of course, John Wick is just writing in all caps. And there's a John Wick series. Let's not forget about the John Wick series. So that's really cool. And
I finally saw Atomic Blonde, by the way. It took me forever.
I still haven't seen Atomic Blonde.
What?
I know.
Bring it in tomorrow.
Bring it in tomorrow? Okay. Well, I borrow all of Igo's movies, so there you go.
John Wick 1. Okay.
I love John Wick. I love the John Wick, so I'll watch Atomic Blonde. And then Mark Strong has been added to the cast of the Shazam Solo movie, and that's rad. I really like Mark Strong a lot. This might be controversial. I liked him as Sinestro.
I did too.
Okay, cool. So I was like,
You would make an awesome Mr. Freeze.
Oh, he would make a good Mr. Freeze.
Victor Freeze.
He would make a really good Victor Freeze. I really liked him as Sinestro. He was probably the better part of that movie. But,
Cool body.
Yeah, he was really good. So, and then he's going to be playing Dr. Sivana, so that's really, really cool. I think he's a good actor. I like him in Kingsman also, so.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Kingsman. Well, we have a video, and then we're going to talk about Toothless and the Dragons of Berk. So you're watching Sideshow Live, and we will be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Berk. Right? Yeah? No, we're still just here. But we are going to be looking at the officially licensed Toothless and the Dragons of Berk premium art print. This is by Ian McDonald. This artist is Ian McDonald. He did such an amazing job. You can see Toothless in the foreground on his rocky crag with all the other dragons of Berk in the background. It is meant to pair with our Toothless statue. This is from How to Train Your Dragon 2, because you can see the flag tail that is very clearly from the end of the first movie going into the second movie. So it's really, really exciting. I loved How to Train Your Dragon because I feel like he's everybody's pet.
I want the third one.
I want the third one. Did you watch the Netflix show? Because the Netflix show is also really amazing. Just really heartfelt. It's a really good show. So, this is a hand-numbered limited edition print of 250. It is 24 by 18 fine art giclée. It has an embossed seal of authenticity, and it will be available for pre-order on Friday, January 19th between noon and 3 p.m. If supplies last, it will be available unframed for pre-order on Monday, January 22nd between noon and 3 p.m. If you want to check out more, head on over to sideshow.com/toothlessprint. That is sideshow.com/toothlessprint. And be sure to go like our art print page as well, because they're doing all kinds of awesome things over there. Plus, that's the first place where we put everything up for pre-order. So when we say like the noon and 3 p.m. time frame, the art print page, that's facebook.com/sideshowartprint. They're the first ones to put it up for pre-order. So if you're like really, really in and you're worried about whether or not you're going to get these limited edition prints, you're going to want to be on our Facebook page. So that is awesome. I like how they included all the dragons. I always like that really big one. That like
Gronkle.
Yeah, what's it called?
Gronkle.
Gronkle. Kitty, you know all the different dragon types?
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually spoke to Ian McDonald about it because there's one that I didn't know which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Whispering Death, which is It's the really tiny one up above his wing.
That one?
Yes.
Oh.
That's the Whispering Death. And he was like super excited to hide that one in the background because it was like teased in the first movie.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I liked the Gronkle because it was like its wings were too small for its body, so it would be like woo woo. It was funny. I loved those movies so much. They're so good. And yeah, so How to Train Your Dragon. We have another video to show you, and when we come back, we'll have Boba Fett. You're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. This thing is so big. I love when I can hide behind them. I'm sure you just saw like the side of my torso because I'm not that great at hiding. But oh my gosh, Boba Fett life-size bust. This is crazy. We actually had to like change the frame and like very strategically place him in the studio because of how awesome and big he is. Ooh, he's weathered. Yeah. Sorry. It's like right in my face.
I've looked at him before, but he's pretty much always wet.
Oh. Yeah.
Worn.
Uh-huh.
He's not mint condition.
What?
Right.
What? How dare you? This was done, this is the Boba Fett life-size bust. It was done in partnership, ooh, I can turn it, with Legacy Effects. It is a mixed media piece because it has Wookiee hair. Yeah? Mm-hmm. That's accurate. But in reality, it's sculpted as well as there are fabric elements like the Wookiee hair. I hope that's not real Wookiee hair.
No Wookiees were harmed.
No Wookiees were harmed in the making of this life-size bust.
No,
Okay, I was a little...
We use porg hair and just...
Porg feathers? Wouldn't porgs have feathers?
I think that hair...
Do they?
too,
I don't know.
parts.
I learned from the Star Wars comics that a group of porgs is called a murder.
Like crows.
Like crows, yeah. But I learned that from reading the porg story in the Star Wars comics.
Not a gaggle.
Not a gaggle. We were trying to guess in this room at one point what a group of porgs was
It
called.
should be called a puddle. A puddle of porgs.
Oh my god! That's exactly what I said.
Dude.
A puddle of porgs! Are we the same person?
Yes.
A puddle of porgs. It's so cute. But unfortunately, canon now says they're called a murder, which I'm kind of okay with because of the little...
Adorably terrifying.
And in that particular comic panel, there was like a psychotic porg being like, ah, with a bunch of wires. The cape is sculpted, for those of you asking. But I didn't know that. I just thought it was a posable fabric cape, but it is sculpted, as is his undersuit, Under Armour is all I can think of, but that's a company. That's what football players wear, not necessarily
His spandex.
his spandex.
Flak vest.
It's called a what?
Flak vest.
A flak vest. His flak vest is also sculpted. Thank you, Challenger.
Huh?
What's that called? That's part of the flak vest is.
He is 30 inches tall. Stands 30 inches tall. He has an articulated helmet. Ooh. How do I do this without...
Just like, you know.
Oh, ooh. So you can kind of be like, "Rrr," or like, he's no good to me, dead. And he can kind of turn his head a little bit. And then he has an articulated... It says articulated rangefinder. That's this. So that comes down? Okay. I'm not going to try it since this is the prototype and it's one of a kind. So sometimes I can't really show you all the features because if it breaks, the project managers get really mad at me. And then I have to buy it.
Light up on top. off too.
Yeah, there's a switch back here. I felt the switch,
They just haven't hooked it up since
but they
it's
haven't hooked it up.
Yeah.
But also this lights up too.
Yeah. The
Light up
jetpack.
chest armor, light up rocket pack. I was getting there. Wookiee scalps made of synthetic Wookiee hair. So there you go. Yeah, that's the sound the switch would make, and it would go on if this was plugged into anything. There's an AC adapter back here. And then you move this around. So his jetpack, his chest light up. And if you would like to learn more about this and RSVP for him, you can go to sideshow.com/bountyhunter. Sideshow.com/bountyhunter. These are really cool. His visor does not move. His visor? Sorry, like what he's not wearing a visor. That's a visor.
No,
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting asked if his visor moves because there's no... Boba Fett doesn't have a visor, guys.
We need a new John Wick.
He is about 12 feet deep.
12 feet?
12 inches deep. Yep. This is... When we said life size...
We say who's life?
Yeah, we meant Andre the Giant's life size. And about 11 inches wide. So this does take out a quite a bit of space. So, shoulders. That actually makes more sense.
Well, I'm very proud to use deep as a measurement, not length.
You told me to.
Doesn't it sound better too?
It's like 20 inches from shoulder to shoulder. 20 inches. Again, this is the prototype, so I can't get right up in there like I want to. But yeah, you can see he's just huge. Like an entire me fits behind him. Like a life-size person fits behind him. I'm a life-size person. Anyway, we're going to show you another video, and when we come back, Magneto. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Look what Igo did.
I'm taking the blame for this.
It wasn't even me. I don't touch the figures.
I didn't do this, but I'll say I did it
to save our producers from
this exclusive.
The exclusive is the Dave Igo broken edition.
No,
metal drip.
No, we all know that the exclusive on this is the unmasked helmet.
Silver Fox
The
portrait?
Silver Fox portrait. That's what Kitty and I have been calling it. So, hi, Dave.
Welcome back. Right?
This is exactly.
I'm hiding behind a Wolverine.
No,
Which,
Wolverine
should go
needs to go this way.
Sorry.
Yeah.
In frame.
Yeah. We can put this S someplace else.
Push them forward so they're like more level with each other, like in terms of close to the camera. Yeah. Dude, Magneto Maquette.
So cool. So cool. Like this piece.
Oh my gosh.
Be careful not to.
I got him. I'm not gonna break him again. All right,
Okay.
I got my one break.
All right. Well, then I guess I get one.
This is only the third time I've broken something in my 8.5 years here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I've broken more stuff than you?
Yeah, Kat Sapine, our lead painter, is notorious for breaking things as she paints them. It's kind of, we have like a full-time fix-it guy just for her. Just kidding, but she breaks a lot of things.
There's a
amazing.
specific there's a specific project manager downstairs who's convinced that I have a vendetta against him because for some reason I only break his projects.
Which one?
the one who did Magneto.
Oh. So can we say you broke this then? Just to
No.
to keep that going?
No. Well,
all right.
We've already admitted it on live.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not watching though.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
He's watching.
Dang it. Good job, Susan.
He's always watching. He's always watching. So the Magneto Maquette made his first appearance at San Diego Comic-Con this past year, and apparently he's over 25 inches tall, but let's just verify that.
We called the one at Comic-Con the Mark 1 suit, right? Is that what we're calling it? I don't know.
Okay.
It was changed a little bit. A couple changes.
Well, he's about
over here.
26.25 inches tall. Yeah? 26.25.
Sounds right.
That's
That's good size.
Yep.
Good size.
Yeah, yeah.
A bit taller than Wolverine. How tall is Wolverine?
Well, Wolverine's like they're different poses. You can't really compare them. Wolverine.
They are?
Wolverine's like, ah! And Magneto's like, oh. Yeah.
Those sound effects really sell me on the poses, too.
Mm-hmm. That's why I do them. Like, if you weren't sure about the pose, just do the sound effect, and if it seems correct, you're like, ah. So, he's about...
I'll put this down.
Oh, that's, like, not at all close to where he starts.
He has the hand, too, that comes
Oh,
out.
okay.
It's
So
weird
he's
because
like-
he has the fabric cape,
Yeah.
he has sculpted elements, so...
I would say he's probably, you want to add, like, I got about 13 and change down here, so you probably want to add about an inch to that if you want the cape sculpted outwards, because it's a fabric cape. So I'd probably say around 14 is probably an accurate measurement.
Show them that depth. Some added base elements since Comic-Con.
Yeah. Those added base elements. Thanks. We really wanted to show those off, and then we asked our wild card to come on the show.
We removed one of them. You know what? I just wasn't liking this one anyways. I just want to get rid of it. You know, just.
You're just like.
Can we update the gallery already? Can we update the block? Is that easy? Can we do that now?
It's super easy.
I think we'll save some money too on the unit cost now. And it's one less piece to worry about. Assembly and paint.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
They add up.
That's how we do.
And they do add up. I mean, it's been brought up before about the cost difference between the two, and obviously size is a huge factor. Pieces, the base is so much more complex.
I was going to say complication of a piece does affect that.
Yep.
You know, in terms of like one of my favorite elements of this is the way he's like the metal from the Sentinel goes like chrome essentially.
Yep. Like one of my not chrome, yeah, but
yeah,
like
I know it's.
as if he's
didn't want to
the
say
paint's
chrome
coming off, and kind of like one of my favorite scenes ever
it goes
was
raw.
Like an X2 when you know he's escaping prison and just like morphs all the like pulls the metal, the iron out of that guy's body, and then makes those like walking
those
platforms.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He weaponizes it as well. Like that's one thing when we were looking at Comic-Con, we're like, hey, it looks like it's coming apart, which obviously he can do, being the master of
metal.
Magnetism.
Yep.
So we want to show like he's ripping apart the Sentinel head, but also then turning it into a weapon as well. One of my favorite X-Men runs, being same age about, was in college. That's right around when like Ultimate X-Men was a big thing, and I loved in the first, I forgot what issue it was, but in the first arc, issues 1 through 6, like the government sends the Sentinels to Savage Land to like attack the mutants, not knowing Magneto is one of them, and then he like repurposes them and turns them into weapons to use against the the government. And I love that idea of like taking their weapon and turning it. So we want to show that a little bit more clearly in the update.
I also really liked. That's one of my favorite elements of Magneto is how you just don't think of all the different ways that we use metal. And how he has to think of metal is different than how we just think of it as a tool. And he not only thinks of it as a tool, but as like a weapon. Even in the first X-Men movie, when he like picks up Wolverine on that train, because Wolverine's like made of metal essentially. Yeah, it's just how they use him in different versions is just spectacular. So someone's asking because of this. It looks like there's a key right here, and are these elements removable? Like if they don't want...
We're not... So this is the prototype.
Yes.
So at the end of the day... I'm sorry?
They're not removable now.
Yeah, or they are. I just
He just made it removable.
No, but the way we try to work with the returns team and customer service is make sure parts can be separate. So if like part of a base is broken, they don't have to replace a whole base, hopefully. So we are looking at these as like different pieces. We haven't gotten back our first production piece yet, so we're not sure exactly how they're going to break apart, but chances are the whole base won't be one piece, so some of these will blow off. So if someone doesn't want to display it with them, they probably could. We can't make any promises, but that's not to say there wouldn't be like a keyhole there as well, because the intention is how you see it now. Minus
the part that, I mean, if you want the IGO edition,
we can give this one away, this part.
oh my god, we will not be giving that away. Are there any light up features on him?
I don't think we're doing any. I'm 99% sure we're not doing any light up. We talked about maybe at one point Magneto's eye. I shouldn't even talk about that, huh? We talked about it. We talked about a lot of things here. We
do. We dream.
Never happened.
We have big dreams, and sometimes when you put something from a dream into a reality, it doesn't necessarily exactly work the way you
I talk about Black Manta every day. I still don't have a Black Manta.
You know who I talk about all the time.
Which one? I don't know.
You know.
Oh, Star Sapphire,
Yeah.
not Starfire.
No, not.
That can get
That's
confusing.
Kitty's. Kitty likes. That's how you know the difference. Kitty likes Starfire.
We should
Susan
do both of
likes
them at the
Starfire.
same time and let marketing and customer service have a field day. Just release Starfire and Star Sapphire at the same time.
Oh my god.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about
Wolverine.
X-Men.
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 Lyndon on Facebook wants to know, do we have the exclusive portrait here?
We do not have the
I
exclusive
asked.
portrait here. It was not available. Everything's kind of going through photography and being passed around at the moment, getting ready for its pre-order date tomorrow.
I worked on the exclusive portrait with Will. So Will was the primary sculptor on this. We had Marco Plouffe. Actually, Marco worked on both pieces because he did the Sentinel hand and the Sentinel head. He actually designed a whole Sentinel in case we want to keep doing this line and have someone ripping through a leg or punching through a stomach or something. Does that sound gross? Whatever.
No, I mean, it's a Sentinel, so I'm all about...
So we have a full Sentinel that
Get
was
rid of these
designed so we
guys.
can kind of like cut off pieces and work them into
That's
the
really
thing.
awesome.
So it was Will Harbottle was primary sculptor. Marco worked on this. Nathan Mansfield as well. And then when Will was working on it, he was under two different tight deadlines. One was the Comic-Con deadline, and then one was, hey, we want to make some changes. We had a deadline after that. So to help him out with the exclusive portrait, there's like so many different ways. You've seen Magneto's hair before. Like you should see his original Silver Fox one. Should I say that? Whatever. You should ask him to see his original.
No, I think I've
did
seen
one.
it.
Yeah.
Is it the kind of wispier one?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's like the really short sides, longer on top. Yeah, it's kind of...
Oh. I saw a very...
Silver Fox.
I saw like a wispy one.
No,
that was like
so-
very 70s hair.
No. So we looked at all of his hairstyles, and it was kind of like
He's had a lot.
short, super big, like crazy perm widow's peak, like from the 90s. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
So while he was working on body edits and changing the mantle and the belt, I did like a rough sculpt in ZBrush over his head to kind of like work out the hair length style and blow. So that was cool. So that was fun collaborating from time to time with the sculpt team.
That's
But-
awesome.
And the gallery is on the blog for people who want to see the exclusive.
Yeah. And if you'd like
He's a
to
good-looking man.
RSVP for him, sideshow.com/Magneto is where you are going to want to head on over to that. Something I just like absolutely love about this piece is when you think of Magneto, you always think of him as like having a plan and moving forward, and he's always very like action based. He's not the type of guy who just like rests on his laurels. He just is always trying to move forward with like what he thinks the world should be. So the fact that we were able to get him like floating and in a very action based pose, I think just like...
Yeah, it's like the more on the museum kind of side of act.
Yeah.
It's like dynamic without
Yes.
it being like he's leaping or jumping or
Right.
doing anything crazy. He's levitating, and it's this powerful kind of like leader pose. Kind of
Yeah.
like it's dominating, it's imposing, and it feels at the same time like leader. Like so, we actually designed these two to be like in a way they
Companion
could be facing off. Which I mean, Wolverine would lose because he has his metal and adamantium skeleton.
Adamantium.
But then there's also many times, especially recently, where Magneto's like on the X-Men team with them. So it's kind of like mutants united.
Especially
against...
if you like, if they're all fighting Sentinels, that is like a prime example of when they're kind of a united front against a
Yep.
common enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Totally agree for once with you. about
You
something.
agree with me about like everything because we grew up in the same era and we're like, oh, we both love that.
Puddle of Porgs is definitely up there for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I keep like looking at Wolverine's backside. I want to like turn it so they're like.
According to a whole
See it.
bunch of people on our social media, Wolverine has the best butt in comics.
This statue?
In
Or
general,
in general?
and this statue confirmed it for a
So
lot
we can
of
talk
our
about
fans.
butts now? Is that all right? So we actually let's a lot of collectors are of the male fan base, right? And so we focus on a lot of like female statues and stuff, but we don't have a lot of female feedback on the guy statues. So Kat Sapine may or may not have raised a couple of concerns
I
about
really like
butt on the males being focused on like the women sometimes are focused on. So we're trying to focus for everyone and give them
use the female gaze. Is what
if
you're
they
talking
have
about.
good pecs and thighs and they gotta have good glutes too. Just they gotta. You wanna
I
make
mean,
everyone happy.
I'm not going to argue with you on that at all. Yeah.
He must work out.
Yeah. So,
We have a question on Facebook. We want to know the difference between a premium format and a maquette.
You can answer this one.
All right,
'cause
how-
I don't even know sometimes. No,
Okay,
I do know.
okay.
I'll agree with you.
so how we kind of... both are quarter scale. So if you guys are wondering about the difference between scales, they're both quarter scale, but a maquette is defined by something that's a little bit more of like a complicated piece, especially when we are talking about the base. Like, for example, Thanos on the throne is a maquette because he was just like, if you quarter scale Thanos is just a bigger piece. Magneto is a maquette.
And that throne was
And
very
that
involved
throne
as well.
was crazy involved. And Magneto is a maquette because of the complication involved in the base of him.
Hulk Wolverine,
as well.
we called a maquette
We called
as well.
a diorama.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I thought internally we
like-
called it maquette as well. It's kind of like, it is an internal term as well where we talk about, like you said, it's ambition level.
Yeah.
Is what complexity and ambition are kind of like synonymous here because they do affect price. Like, and at one point in time, the Deadpool Heat Seeker was a maquette, and it probably should have been called a maquette in my eyes. And, that's just, to me, so internally it's kind of like an ambition level for the piece we're working on.
I would agree with that as well. It just, for me, it was always, they're both quarter scale. They all go together because you can put a quarter scale next to a quarter scale next to a quarter scale, but a maquette is just something that is involved. Like, there's just a higher price point to it. Just like a comiquette is usually fifth scale.
We
kind of cut.
I think we retired that
we
term.
reti-
Call it
retire-
stanue now.
Yeah,
it's
but
kinda
we
indicator
call it
of
like a fifth scale
scale-ish.
statue or fifth scale collection. But yeah, when we used to call things like the first J. Scott Campbell Spider-Mans were all called comiquettes, but they were fifth scale statues, and now we have fifth scale statues like the Avengers Assemble collection or the Mark Brooks Spider-Verse collection. But that's what we're talking about. Is just it's scale. It's just different terminology.
Yep. We're trying. I mean, like, there's definitely one good thing about going more and more digital with sculpting is we are able to control sizing of these things in relation to each other. Because when you're working with one sculptor in one side of the world, another sculptor another side of the world, you can tell them make it this size, and then they could be working different materials, and then you just get these two statues that don't look like they belong in the same universe sometimes. So
But
working
these
digital, we
two-
get files. And we have a master sizing file now too, and even on a new DC PF, I'm really excited to announce eventually down the line. But it's a new character too. People wanted new characters. It's a new character we haven't done yet. Anyways, last second we saw the final file with our new Superman, Batman. We're like, hey, if we shrunk the head a little bit, inflated his arms, he would work better with these guys. So we did that, and it worked really well. So just what? So Wolverine, Magneto. Just explain some of the process, man. There's a lot to making these.
And I would just like to self-correct. Apparently, the Hulk versus Wolverine is called a maquette diorama.
Boom. And they're fifth scale.
Yep.
Fifth scale maquette.
There you
So
go.
yeah, so we can't
So
say
maquette is more like complication level.
I would
you know,
say
or dream.
99% of the time they're quarter scale, but if you see a verse diorama, we're working on a new verse diorama
Yeah,
too.
I would agree with that. I know.
It's so cool.
And I know what it is.
Let's let them
You
speculate.
showed me.
It's a DC piece.
You showed me. I know what
all
it
it is.
is. Because I went and raided Dave's office of all his
Dude,
pictures.
I'm so excited. We worked on another thing that I got to size. The big thing for me is size approval. Like, I had to fight for Thanos to be a little bit bigger because he should
well,
be.
Thanos
bigger.
is a little bit bigger.
He should be, and I think it paid off.
Yeah.
I think he sold a
I
couple.
think he paid off like just a little bit.
So there's
He
a
looks
thing.
so amazing. Come to the after party. Kitty will be doing a close up of him. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet.
If she wasn't going to, she is now.
Darn.
Are there other questions, or what are we doing?
Apparently, John Wick is very concerned about this piece of metal hitting my eye.
Right.
Why is this? I'm
People
afraid
want
she's
you to talk
eye.
about the base and the creation of the base.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the Sentinel one? Magneto's? Sorry.
It's
yeah. It was
and-
probably, it felt like for a while, and I might, foot and mouth later, but it felt like that was 80% of the focus was making sure the base, because at one point in time we did a rough 3D mock-up, and if we would have printed it, the base would have been like this, And when you look on screen in ZBrush World, you're just like, oh, it looks fine. But then we do 2D print tests sometimes to see really how big it is. So a lot of it was, how do we get it down in size, make it have parts coming off that aren't, a million parts. I think for our prototype, the base is 40 unique parts, but it won't be that,
Right.
like the customer won't get that way. But
Right.
in terms of our complexity for building the thing,
Like, for
it was-
example, like the Voltron piece had so many different parts for us, but when everybody got it, it
Yep.
wasn't as
Yep,
many.
yep, yep.
So that's
in terms
'cause
of
we
our
have to be
complexity.
able to take everything apart in
Yep.
order to like paint it and make
So
sure
with
everything.
a big challenge with that wasn't only the size and mass to be responsible to price, and it still was a $700. It was almost $1,200. Like our original, we priced it, and that's why we had to also come back. Like it was a huge thing, and that was almost a $1,200 Magneto, which
Wow.
might have been really good.
Might have been
Might not-
okay.
certain people like try to keep this under 800, and that's what we did. But then also you want to read like the Sentinel's face, so you want to make sure the face is front and center.
I just love
He's
that.
destroying it. You have the jaw being ripped off here.
Yeah.
You want to make sure there's like
Like,
little spindles and tendrils coming
I
off of it to show like
love
it's being
that.
torn up and off. And so it was really challenging to make sure you could destroy the Sentinel. You have enough of its kind of like key features to be like, that's a Sentinel head for sure, not just like a purple magenta mess or something, whatever color.
I think we achieved that, or you guys.
And you get
achieved
like
it.
where the spinal column would be, like that's where the head would be, and then you get like a bunch of other things to try and do is find ways to remove certain mass. So the whole base bottom, instead of having to be a bunch of clack, it's kind of like if you look, not that we can get too close, but it's like a whirlwind of like melted metal at the very bottom to kind of like help spool the whole thing together. But the base was definitely, it felt like a majority of the focus was like trying to make sure that base looked cool and was responsible to production, and they still weren't, like still
I think
too cool.
also what you all did in production is take apart a Sentinel in a really specific way to each character. Like Magneto would do this to it. There's this slice on Wolverine's where
There's
there's
slash marks
there's
all over
slash
it.
marks all over it, and there's 3. So that's like how specific everything has gotten.
And by the way, this is in case people are wondering, because I know last time there's some questions on Wolverine. This is the updated production sample. We did add a little bit to the base bottom to kind of level them
Tilt
out.
them out.
Yeah. And so this is this is an approved first sample from China. So this is not the prototype. The only thing that's changing from this point forward is this is still placeholder claws. They will be metal. So this is pretty much what you'd be getting with metal claws. So you can see him from like the profile. He still has that lunging forward thing. Just originally with the hand, he was kind of almost looking
Look at
down.
that.
We wanted to like make sure he was looking at least straight on, not slightly down, because it just doesn't look good. So.
You could totally face them off.
Oh
Oh my god. You almost took like John Wick's all worried about Magneto, and then you take me out with Wolverine. They want to see his face.
Did I answer the base question? Sorry, I felt like I rambled for a while.
All about the base.
I worked with Will pretty close to him, make sure these like tendrils were kind of weaponized and coming up and kind of like around like his right
They're
arm
definitely
is like
weaponized. That's
summoning
for
up
sure.
them.
Yeah.
We did change. Another thing we changed on Magneto was the hand pose from this to kind of like mimic a very famous '90s cover, where it shows like a
the
close.
Jim Lee cover.
Cool. Yeah, that one. I didn't know if we could reference artists. I forget what we can and can't do sometimes.
We can say it's inspired by, which
cool.
it was.
Inspired by, yeah.
Michael wants to know, when you have a piece with this intricate base, which is manufactured first, the base, the figure, or are they done together?
I believe.
Together.
I believe.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of they might start something like the base first, because that's kind of like the foundation of the piece.
I forgot your dog was back
I
there.
have a dog. She's rad.
She is rad. Anyway.
So they probably would start with the base first, I'm assuming, because it's like the foundation that especially in this case, that Magneto's hovering from. So they have to figure out how they're going to support him, make sure he can, because he's hovering. It's like, how can we make sure this will last for as long as humanly possible, where he won't lean? I love the clearance. He originally wasn't as high either. We really pushed to get him higher. He was originally like his foot was down here. So we were like, no, he needs to come up another 2 inches. I think is what we did. That was fun.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Why did you opt for cloth cape instead of sculpted cape?
Dude, because I think cloth. I know some people have their preferences. It's kind of like Coke, Pepsi. And I really like what Tim and our Cut and Sew team do with cape work, especially in a lot of times too with what they do with bodysuits as well. Sometimes we opt for all sculpt bodysuits. Sometimes we go for fabric bodysuits. It's project to project. With a cape too, it would, and not to get too much into all like because this is like the stuff we deal with every day, but a sculpted cape would add that much more mass to the thing, and then he might not be able to ship all in one box. It might be 2 boxes.
For me, I was like, well, we got him floating. If it was a sculpted cape, that throws off the balance of the piece, and therefore he could be much more heavy on one side.
Even if he was done in even if the cape was done in a lighter material with this like hovering gag, it would take some magic to really make that work.
Also, they had, for San Diego, we had the cape in a different position. From up position, it looked like he was fluttering down, so we can get...
Yeah.
You can change. Yeah, in the gallery we show it's posable. This is the prototype, so I don't want to be like, check all these options, and the mantle breaks off or anything like that. But it will be.
We had our professional cape poser come pose it for us, so we got that.
Who was it? Was it
Tim?
Not Tim. Oh, it was Tim. Okay.
Yeah.
There's anyways.
Of course, it was Tim.
Wasn't. No.
Come on.
Tim's cool, but no, the Cut and Sew team is.
Maybe if we harass him enough, we can get him back on the show, because we keep trying to get him back on the show.
Dude, he's great. Oh my god, you can.
He knows everything. He's so geeky.
If he doesn't, he just like totally like BS his way through it. But, oh yeah, totally. I'm out here, and just like leave.
Crazy.
Is that Tim?
That's a crazy accurate Tim impression. The happiest I've ever seen Tim was the day that we watched the He-Man Christmas special.
That guy likes his He-Man, so he's our resident Superman nerd. And I don't know if we're gonna when we have the new Superman PS.
Oh, he's coming on.
You should have him on there.
He's coming on.
So one thing this Magneto and the new Superman have in common is we eliminated their trunks over pants look, because it's a very classic thing. We try to say is true to the classic while bringing some extra definition and layering and texture to him as well. Personally, I can't stand trunks over pants look. It just. So I've actually dressed up as Captain America for Halloween once or twice. And I did the classic like blue shorts over blue span, and it's not right, man. It's just not right. It's just not right. It's just not.
I was a dancer for years and years and years, and we have to wear like leotards over tights all the time.
Dude, if I were Magneto, I would have gotten rid of the I want to put clothes on clothes.
All right, I'm just saying it is actually a thing, and it makes moving the body easier. So there was like tactical reasons behind doing that.
Okay, this isn't Quicksilver. This is Magneto.
Fair. But I thought you were talking about Superman, but that's fine.
Like Superman needs that. I need something to make the traction of my inner thighs, not whatever. Give me shorts to put over my pants.
Yep. Magneto was like, I'm really worried about the friction that might happen while I'm moving all this metal. You
know what else I don't like that's kind of controversial? I don't like the logo on Superman's cape. It's kind of like if you put a big M on Magneto's cape. It's like, who does that?
Magneto.
Who do that?
Superman does it. Come on.
It's cape.
Come on.
But our new Superman does have a logo.
See?
Because Tim fought really hard.
I was going to say, we have another resident Superman superfan.
Is Dennis?
Oh, yeah.
If you guys had a fight to the death, though, Tim would probably...
I
was gonna say Dennis.
Dang.
Dennis.
Can we have Dennis and Tim on here, talking about Superman together? Then
yes, and I will just roll my chair back.
Not on the dog.
Okay, not on the dog.
William on Facebook wants to know: does the wire run all the way around the cape, or is it just the sides of the cape?
Yep, all the way around. All the way around. It's like.
What does that mean?
Because this is where the wire is, and the cape's in the middle. It makes sense. Shh.
Here, you take this.
All right. Well, Magneto pre-orders tomorrow. What's tomorrow's date? The 18th. Thank you. I was like, it doesn't
Is
have
there an
the date.
edition size on it?
Not
Do we
yet,
know?
but we have an exclusive edition that comes with the unhelmeted portrait, aka Silver Fox portrait. And the collector's edition is this helmeted version that you're seeing right here. It is available for pre-order tomorrow. If you're watching this in the future, that's January 18th probably between noon and 3 p.m. It doesn't
Sometime tomorrow.
It doesn't say in my notes. So just watch our website all day or follow us on social media where we'll tell you when it's available for pre-order. And if you would like to RSVP to be the first to be notified, you go to sideshow.com/Magneto. Thanks so much for being on the show again.
Anytime.
All right.
Did I say anything wrong? I didn't say.
I don't think you did. Yeah, I mean a couple of things, but whatever. Thank you, Dave Igo. We will be back with the Q&A segment of the show, as well as announcing winners and giving away some things. So be sure to ask questions and participate in the chats, because that's how you get seen and that's how you get picked for a giveaway. So you're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back.
You call me Yondu as well.
Yondu Danta, Mary Poppins. He goes by so many different names.
So many different names. I could literally sign it right now on camera. There you go. You're having it right here, guys.
He's signing it. This is
Bam.
legit, guys.
Done and done. You want to look?
Look. And it's there.
Official.
Fantastic. Hey everyone, we're back. That was an awesome segment, and I wasn't exactly paying attention to the producers, so I was like, what? Oh, we're back? Hey. Anyway, so I'm just going to announce some winners right now while you guys all start asking questions. Yeah? Ask us questions. We have some time to answer them for you. So a couple of weeks ago, we gave away a Hot Toys life-size Groot signed by Michael Rooker. Did we announce this already?
No.
Oh, we haven't?
No.
Whoa, that's awesome. So Jeff Stout is the winner of the signed life-size Groot from Michael Rooker. That's amazing. That's so cool. And then last week, we unboxed a Batman Arkham Knight figure from Hot Toys, and Caden Bendola is the winner of that. That's such a cool figure, you guys. So cool. I really enjoyed unboxing both of those, and thank you to Michael Rooker for coming in to help me out with that unboxing. So we have 3 giveaways to do in the chat channels right now. There's a Bond, there's a Goldfinger, and there's an Odd Job. So Facebook definitely gets the Bond. YouTube definitely gets the Goldfinger, and you guys are going to have to battle it out for the Odd Job. So, John Wick, Sideshow Chickie, fight. I was like, Chickie wins. Spoiler alert.
But Chickie's new here.
That's right, Chickie's new here. Sure. B&E Outdoors says, when will we get to see the new studio? When, guys?
We don't have an exact date yet. It's in the works.
That's our politically correct answer. Mine is, hey, producer guys.
If it was on us.
I know. I'm kidding. Soon.
2018.
Most of the answers to when will we see this, you can insert studio, different projects, different products. Soon is the blanket answer to that. So that's cool. When will more images of Boba Fett Mythos be released? I'm trying to decide between that and the recent 6-scale Boba announcement. Is that a question? So more pictures of Boba Fett the answer is soon.
It looks awesome, by the way.
It does look really cool. Awesome. I'm really stoked about the fabrication elements on it specifically. I don't know how much I can get into it, but he does have a really cool 6-scale costuming. Yeah, I recommend the Mythos because something about the Mythos line in general, like the Obi-Wan to the Boba Fett, is that there's nothing else like it. You can get Boba Fett's from any one of the movies, but there's nothing else like the Mythos. That it's a completely unique piece, which I think is really special about the Mythos.
JJ Joe on Facebook wants to know if it's too early for any SDCC teases.
It is far too early for any SDCC teases.
Oh, some of us are still trying to figure out what to have for lunch.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what I'm eating for lunch today, so I can't tell you anything about SDCC except that we're going, because we always do.
I have a wish list.
Yeah, I mean, we all have wish lists. Yeah, I mean, I think the audience has wish lists.
Yeah, but they don't know what we're actually making. That's the difference.
That's true.
I know.
That's true.
Wish list.
There's a question for Igo. Will classic Justice League premium format lines continue now that the Trinity are being updated in quarter scale? Is there going to be an update to the Justice League line? Is the short answer. Short question.
It's being updated.
It
And we're
is.
trying to, just like with anything else we're doing, it's... Sorry, I'm talking too much.
You should just come on camera right now. Just roll yourself on over.
You okay, dog?
No dogs were harmed in the rolling over of this chair.
I just hear "No dogs allowed" from Charlie Brown.
There are certain figures we want to get to. There's always there's only so many projects we can do in a year, and things happen. And I have wish lists of things I want to make. So we're rebooting. It's not like we won't do certain characters, but they'll be done in an aesthetic way to kind of work with like the new DC line. The Marvel we're treating the same way. They're all kind of like based on our favorite classic looks, then we're trying to find ways to update them. So, like, for people that have been asking for a Flash forever, I feel your pain. If we do a Flash, I think it would work well with either collection. So,
Nice.
Classic and new.
Cool.
Dwight on Facebook wants to know, will there ever be how to pose cape videos, maybe a tips from Tim?
Tim!
Tips
Yes!
from Tim!
Make it happen!
Tips from Tim! Yep.
Dude, I love
Tips
it.
from Tim.
And you can ask Tim, the really good guy at posing capes is Steve Schumacher. Ask him about Steve.
Shu is?
Yeah,
Aw.
ask Shu about that. It's the She-Ra cape in particular.
I
Shu.
heart Shu so much. He's so.
I hope Tim's watching this because he's probably like, I hate Shu.
I've been wanting to get Shu on the show for so long.
All right, what's the next piece he's working on?
But I
we'll
think,
figure it out.
But
'cause
I
I'd
also
love to
think
have him on too.
because Shu is so genuinely like knowledgeable about like pop culture, geek culture, and then his job.
Yeah.
Come on.
And for those of you guys that don't know who Shu is, he's
one of our sculptors.
He's one of our main sculptors, and he did the recent Abby Chase.
Yes.
He did the original J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man ladies line.
He did the
didn't work on
Jessica Rabbit,
Jessica
like
Rabbit
way back in the day. That's how
The
long
new
he's been with us.
She-Ra,
Yeah.
the new Lino that was teased was Shu. And he's working on, he's finished up a piece. He's working on another one that's a 2-piece 5th scale artist series thing too, which I'm really excited about.
That's really cool.
Anyway, Shu's awesome.
Shu
He
is
should
awesome.
definitely, he's kind of like shy, but once you get him going, he can really,
He's
not with you probably.
I don't think he's shy.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, but yeah,
Depends what day
it depends and depends on who he's talking to. Anyway,
and the subject matter and how awkward it is.
so someone's asking about from conception to shipping, how long is the production process? It depends on the piece is the answer. Like some of them just we come back to more often.
There's windows too. Some pieces move through really easy because we design them in such a way and develop them in such a way that they can move through production overseas. Did I do it right?
Yes.
Anyways, really fast and efficiently. And then some pieces take a while and they might go through issues internally or externally. The pieces more complex, ambitious pieces can take quite a while too. So it can vary from 20, like, I don't even want to say a window.
Yeah.
It can go fast or it can take a long time.
Yeah. Any more X-Men pieces coming down the line?
Oh, are there?
Soon.
Can we even talk about the video? Shh. A video's coming. Can I say that?
No. Well, you just did. Soon. The answer is soon. Yeah. Soon.
I stopped. I saw.
The answer is soon. Will we ever make any classic horror figures like Universal?
Oh, Universal. That's a tricky one. Universal license itself has unique circumstances for us to make stuff, which is difficult. I've always wanted to do. I want to do Mythos. Like we can do our own Frankenstein. We can do our
Mythos
own
Wolfman.
Yeah, our own Wolfman, our own like
I would die.
creature. Just like we Dracula. I want to do that.
Oh my god.
Let's start a poll. Who won?
I mean, I can put one up on Facebook. Oh my god. Mythos Wolfman.
We have internal fans, but it's just
for
figuring
sure.
it out. And again, we can only make so many pieces a year, so it's
So we have our first winner coming through. Our YouTube winner for the Goldfinger piece is Dark Mufasa. Dark Mufasa.
Is that their real name?
I don't think that's your real name, Dark Mufasa. Could you email us your real name with the subject line Goldfinger, like I want a Goldfinger, and and email it to social@sideshow.com, and you need to put your real name in there and where you would like the prize shipped. Please do that in the next 24 hours to claim your Goldfinger. Yay! So we have a couple more questions.
Matthias on Facebook.
Mattias? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Wants to know who is the best Bond ever.
The best Bond ever?
Yeah.
I think it shows your age if you have a certain answer. Skyfall is my favorite Bond movie, so Daniel Craig's my Bond, but dude, Sean Connery is hard to beat. But I was also a kid when Goldfinger? No, Pierce Brosnan, first one.
Yeah.
Goldeneye.
Goldeneye.
Oh my god, I was a kid when that one came out, so Pierce Brosnan was like my original, and then Craig, but Sean Connery is classic. Sorry, I totally hogged that. You go. Ladies first.
I've never seen a Bond movie.
What, dude?
Yeah.
Who are you? Not even a new one?
You guys, we've already been over this. We
All right,
did a
all right.
whole Bond segment. You've had a month to get over it, guys.
You had a month to watch one.
Yeah, but it was Christmas
All
and I
right,
had
so
the flu.
if you need a Bond fan on here, William Harbottle is a huge Bond fan. So if you need in
Also,
the future,
the Robin, who was on the Bond show with me, is a huge Bond
who's
fan.
Robin?
Well, you should probably meet her.
Person?
Yeah, she works in customer support. Robin. She's also a huge Bond fan, and she co-hosted the Bond segment with me since I knew nothing about Bond. And by the way, y'all had a month to get over it. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen at some point that there was something that I don't know about.
Well, maybe in the future we can get this.
That's a perfect.
The sick time? Can you watch stuff when you're...
I can.
No, I can't. Someone thinks I'm a Skrull now. Don't have the
What'd
chin,
you binge
guys.
The Crown.
I heard good
I
things.
love that show. The Crown is so good. Anyway.
Well, next
John
time we
Wick-
have this Robin on, she could talk with Will about it.
yeah.
Bond fans.
Yeah, everyone's like, I love
They
Robin.
could Bond over Bond.
Oh my god.
Oh, that could be a segment. Bonding over Bond.
You know what was
So
the
good.
What was the best about Kitty is like right after the Bond segment, she tried to make me feel better about never seeing Bond, and so she told me something she hasn't seen.
What? What was it? Throw her under the bus. This bus is primed and gassed up and ready.
She might be throwing me under the boulder here.
Indiana Jones. She's never
Any of
seen
them?
any of them.
None of them.
So just saying, there's all gaps in fandoms. Anybody can be a fan of anything, and everybody has their gaps.
I'm gonna tender my resignation now.
Well, no, you're not, because then I will have to, and I'm not going anywhere. John Wick is going mental about this. Yeah.
We can fix that. We can have those. When was the last time we did like a company screening here in this room? This very.
We haven't done it for a while.
Let's do a Indiana Jones one.
We have a new theater in the
First
new
movie we're
studio.
watching in there though is The Thing.
Raider.
We talked about it.
Yes.
I like that movie a lot.
So The Thing.
And then can we play the game?
Wow.
Yeah, can we watch The Thing and then play the game? The Mondo game? I love that game. Darth Dravid says that he wants us to make a Matt the Radar Technician.
I don't know who Matt the Radar Technician is.
It's definitely not Kylo Ren.
I found Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
No, look at it. Look at it. No, it's awesome. Fine, you don't have to look at it anymore. And then throws it. So that's amazing.
So that's like a Star Wars like one-liner character or something.
It's an SNL skit.
Oh.
You should totally watch it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right. That's good to know.
It's so
We'll watch
funny. It's an undercover boss thing.
Oh.
Where he goes undercover as Matt.
I know exactly. I know what you're. Yes.
Yeah, it's so good.
I feel like we've all had a dead to me moments. We all
Yep.
need to share our own. Like I haven't seen that
Yeah.
SNL skit, and that was like everywhere. But whatever.
Someone's like, you need to make every single Kurt Russell character.
Dude,
Yeah.
we started. We
Yeah.
started. I love Kurt Russell. I feel like
We
you
all
can't-
love Kurt Russell.
You can't get wrong.
Tombstone, Kurt Russell,
Yes!
The Thing, Kurt Russell.
Can we do Tombstone, Kurt Russell, and then also Tombstone? Just do
Why do
Tombstone.
Kurt Russell?
Val Kilmer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be your Huckleberry. I love that movie so much. And then Joe Lombardo wants to know, why do we? Okay, any idea why Ahsoka gets no merch?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I don't want.
But I'm worried to talk about Ahsoka on here because every time I talk about Ahsoka on here, I get quoted on the boards as having announced an Ahsoka piece.
Maybe we should consider making an Ahsoka.
Maybe we should think about it.
Let's think
That's
about
an
it.
idea that nobody's thought about
Write
before.
that one down.
Yeah, we'll write it
Ahsoka.
down.
I think a couple people like Ahsoka. We should
Just a
consider
few
an
people.
Ahsoka design.
Yeah, we should think about it. Thank you, Dennis. Make Ahsoka. Ooh,
I hope you spelled her name wrong.
No, I spelled it right. Tano.
There you go, Joe.
Just to be
Your message
specific.
has been passed along.
Just to be specific, in
Joe,
case
you've
there's
been
more than
heard.
one Ahsoka. But every time we talk about Ahsoka, I get like quoted on the boards as saying something.
That's
that
why I always say
didn't
may or may not before everything, because it helps.
Oh my God! Someone's like, Susan just announced Ahsoka. No, I didn't.
Niambi wants to know.
No, Niambi. Hi, Niambi. I have to text you back.
He wants to know about the He-Man universe, Masters universe.
Ooh, we have Orko coming out soon, right?
Yeah,
What's
so
going on?
he wants to know what else are we doing?
Oh, we're working on one that comes after Orko. And I can't say what it is because I get yelled at. I want to tell, like, I would just come in here with my board of, like, everything we're doing. Like, check this out, guys. It's awesome.
This is what I do all the time. I like go into his room and he has like these sliding boards and I just like slide and I'm like, ooh, this is what we're doing. And
It's funny because Chad from Tweeterhead was in today and we're collaborating with him on, like, continuing the line.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about what's after Orko because it's in the middle of being sculpted right now. So
that means I can go spy on Sculpt.
maybe.
Maybe.
Well, it's not like it's anyways.
Yeah.
I answered nothing in
Yeah.
that ramble. Just
Can
now.
you consider a Cloud City specific Star Wars figure line from Ian Musgrave in YouTube?
like they're. I mean, I get it. Like we made Bespin. We just made Bespin.
But he wants like Bespin Leia,
He wants, like,
Lando,
Lobot, maybe, like-
Lobot.
Lobot. Oh man,
Robot.
I want a Lando.
Bespin Leia.
Nuts.
Like not.
I want Lando bad. I love me some Lando.
I'm-
I hope he appears in Episode 9. He has to, right?
Yeah.
That's like my theory. No, I can't say it.
John
Logan
Wick
is
wants.
asking for Sharknado figures.
Oh, dude, Sharknado 5 is now on Netflix. I'm like, Kelly and I watched the first one. I'm like, let's watch them all. She's like, no. And the fifth one, I didn't even know. I knew there was at least 4.
This is why I like Kelly a lot better than Dave. Everybody likes Kelly better than Dave.
That's not true.
We have another winner that was chosen. William Tink is the winner of the James
Tink?
Bond fig. Yeah, he's
T-I-N-K?
from Neverland.
We
Tink.
should-
William Tink is the winner of the Bond figure. Woohoo! So William Tink, write I want a James Bond. I was gonna make you write Donna, but then I won't know what that is, and that'll be a really long subject line. So just write I want a James Bond, and in the subject line, and then write where you would like it shipped. Please do that in the next 24 hours to claim your James Bond 6-scale figure. Thank you so much. Social@sideshow.com. In case I didn't say it, I might not have said it. Oops.
Are we pointing somewhere too?
No, there's no, it's not there.
It's there.
It is there. Now it's there.
Right now.
Now it's
Is
there.
it there? Is it-
And it's not.
And then we have Carrie Baker, who also is taking home an odd job. Woo! Carrie Baker, that's amazing. So Carrie, you're gonna want to write I won an odd job, which is a very strange subject line. But send
Make
it
sure to spell that right.
social
Odd
at
job.
Sideshow.
I want it.
Social@sideshow.com, and then write where you want it shipped. Please do this in the next 24 hours to claim your Odd Job 6-scale figure. Congratulations, Carrie. Woohoo!
Whenever I hear Carrie, I have a good friend named Carrie. It's just like, I think Carrie.
Like Bloody Carrie with
Yeah,
pig's
that's
blood?
all I think whenever I
right.
hear Carrie just
All right, that's
goes
fair.
there. Yeah.
That's fair. That's probably the
Bad
most popular
day, Carrie.
Yeah.
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 So Crystal on Facebook asked, will you guys ever sell backgrounds that you can place behind figures, like environment backgrounds?
It's tricky to get those right. I mean, it's kind of like, because we use those for photography, but it's, I don't know how you would sell them. It'd be like a big, like
a print?
Right now there's, no.
Yeah,
I love the idea. I think a lot of us love the idea, but it's kind of a,
yeah.
How would you actually make that? And that might fall underneath like another license kind of a thing. Like,
yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, so that would
and
be...
like that's why I appreciate the art print program so much, because it kind of like, even though it's not an exact backdrop, it kind of pairs with every
perfect. You did perfect. That's why you're here. I wouldn't even know. I'm like, maybe.
We have an art print.
You know what we should do?
You know that
like how we want
we have an art print program.
We do.
Yeah.
I think someone helps with that in here sometimes.
Yeah, she has blue hair.
Wow, hurts a little bit to be forgotten.
Oh right, that's right. Someone also helps with that. Who's sitting right.
Gracie's awesome, but you know what? How we have tips with Tim? Is that what we talked about?
Yeah, tips with Tim.
We should have Amy on here one time. She talk about all the legal licensing stuff. Just ask any questions to Amy. She would love that.
Hate that, and she will stab us all with shivs that she creates out of random things around the office. All of a sudden, we'll just get shivved. Magneto spikes.
Oh my god.
Where it's going to be like Kevin Bacon in the first Friday the 13th.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
It's Kevin Bacon.
I saw Animal House for the first time in a long time.
Oh,
last night.
I was like, you're not allowed.
That's his first movie he was in.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Oh.
He's a kid in it. Aww. It's weird. It's weird when, like, in our age now, because we just passed that point where usually everyone we looked up to is older than us, and now you look at things and, like, people are younger than us, you're like, it's so weird.
He's such a baby.
And then you look at people, like, in their first role, and you still think of them as older than you, but in that role they're 19, or you're like, what is going on? It's so weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
I mean, it even happens with Star Wars and, like, Mark Hamill, and you're like, oh, you're just a kid. You need to go to Toshi Station and get some power converters.
He should have worn black in that first movie. Aww. He's so emo.
Jeremy wants to know who is the worst in the office at keeping secrets, and can they be on the show next week? I was like, probably us.
Yeah, probably us. I'm throwing out hints I'm not supposed to, and I think I've accidentally announced, like accidentally, like not for, and then things don't happen because things change. I'm your best bet. I'm your only hope. I don't know who would be worse than us.
Yeah,
actually.
we're pretty much the worst ones.
Who would be? Like,
and on that note,
do we get a medal for being like the worst?
For being the worst?
Holders? Yeah.
I actually would love a medal that says just "You're the worst" on it.
I think they have that.
I know. I want one. You're the worst.
Don't find me at Comic-Con because I really spill beans at Comic-Con. Just kidding. Don't. I shouldn't say that, right? Are you doing this? What's that mean?
I'm tired of rolling my eyes.
Thank you all so much for watching Sideshow Live. We had an amazing show this week with, inadvertent co-host Dave Igo.
This guy.
With this guy. We looked at the Magneto Maquette. We looked at the Boba Fett life-size bust. We looked at the Toothless and the Dragons of Burke art print. That is amazing. And we gave away some James Bond figures. We announced some winners. We did a lot of Q&A information that you shouldn't have gotten, but oops, you did.
You guys see an updated Wolverine, which is cool.
Yeah, there was. There was an updated Wolverine for size comparison type thing. And we are about to go to the Instagram after party with Kitty, where she will be showing you up close and personal the new Thanos on the Throne maquette, as well as the Zatanna premium format figure.
I love that Zatanna.
She looks so good.
Yeah, Steve Lord is a sculptor we work with who's amazing. He just finished another piece for us. It's like every piece he works on is like a piece I get excited about. I'm like, oh my god,
so good. Yeah. So thank you guys all for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Woo!
I was always attracted to anything that was monstrous. He has that urban legend, creature of the swamp kind of appeal. Swamp Thing is a big shambling mound of vegetation that basically is the swamp in human form.
It was actually one of the first comic characters I was actually aware of and became invested in on some level because the hero happened to be an alien or a monster, in this case a swamp monster, so I was immediately drawn into that.
I think Swamp Thing has been a character that has been somewhat neglected in the collectible market. So we were like, hey, let's do this. Let's base it on the old original designs that Stephen Bissett and Bernie Wrightson had done and put our own twist on it and really make an impactful piece for the collectors. The design could kind of get spun every which way, especially with the evolution of the character now. It's kind of taken on more of a human form. We wanted to do that Bigfoot, boggy creek creature that was exist in some of the movies and cinematically. So we had Paul take a stab at it.
In this case, I wanted to take what the artist Stephen Bissett and John Totleben, what they'd done, and then what Totleben had brought with his inks, which he'd rendered every single bit of moss and flower and vine that was growing out of the body, and I wanted to get as much as that as I could. We didn't want him aggressive, too aggressive. We just want him abiding in the swamp in a sense, but definitely with a sense of intensity and determination, kind of lurching forward.
Steve Rojas did the first version of Swamp Thing, and he did a great job establishing the overall look that we would go with. When you think about him, you think green, but there's also a lot of brown. We also did some heavy shadowing with some dark greens, like in the deep areas, which really helped bring the whole thing to life. We got to play with it, and we figured Swamp Thing is an imposing character. He needs to be an imposing collectible. Cranius is Swamp Thing's arch nemesis, the villain in that world.
Obviously, he's the brains of the operation. He's actually a walking brain, and he walks on a large human hand.
And we thought, wow, what would be really cool is if we get Paul on it, let him design it, make it even creepier, and add, Paul's creepy aesthetic, and make that the exclusive. I think the reason we choose to do these characters is because we can put our spin on it and also pay tribute to a character that has this, there's a culture of fans out there that love the character. We definitely brought to the table something spectacular for a character that doesn't get quite as much love as some of the larger, well-known characters. If you're a fan of Swamp Thing, you're going to want this statue. As a fan, I'm excited that this piece finally came to fruition. I'm looking forward to having one on my shelf.